I gotta say, getting these mics were one of the best things I did. Let me test it out. Say something.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Hello, hello. Ooh, works perfect. Works perfect. Okay, so I guess we got everything recording.
Recording.
1 2 1 2. We got different cameras today.
Yep.
Finally, we're
3
starting to
cameras.
improve.
Yeah. Little by little, bro.
Yeah,
It's
little by
like
little.
it's life. I would point your mic upwards because it's
For
facing
sure.
down. So it's probably not
sure.
recording that well.
I hope it records. All right. Some sort of something like that. This is the hoodie thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're having to start to wear hoodies in, what was it, August?
Dude, it's end of August. It's getting cold already.
August
And
20.
wife and I were gonna try to make it a beach day. So
Good luck. No, but
let's see.
actually around
Yeah, it's supposed
20,
to be like 85.
85, yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday it got pretty humid. Not crazy, but it got warm and
Yeah.
humid around 2, 3. Something like that.
So what are we talking about today?
I'll bring out the sheet, the cheat
I
sheet.
think one of it was like hate yourself.
Damn, I wrote some, but I left it in my car and I don't have the pictures of it because I was making a note. Like whenever I get some idea, I just write it down. It feels the best thing to do.
So love yourself is what we did last time. Then there's take responsibility. Every action has an effect.
Let me check that big camera.
Yep.
Yeah, if now we can go and pick a quote from Marcus Aurelius and make sure we work it out.
Yeah.
Anything will work. It's just what we
And
have.
3 is hate can destroy you. 4 is hating myself for not understanding mistakes and failure is part of the process.
Oh, that sounds very deep today.
Mm-hmm.
You pick. I always tend to pick, so I'll give you that.
I think one that we can do in the future or today it's probably it's a quote from David Goggins.
Okay.
Or I'm not sure. Sure if it's from David Goggins, but I think I heard it on his book or his podcast. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Ooh, that hits very deep. Google it right now. Let's find out who said it better. Who said it, so we can.
Oh, actually, it might be from Bedros.
Bedros Keuilian. That dude hits deep, man. Mostly at 5 in the morning. He
How you
has
do
energy.
anything
So
is how you do everything.
It makes sense, man. That makes so much sense. If you think about it, it just starts.
Hey, Ryan. Well, I don't think anybody claimed the quote, but I think it speaks very true to character.
Yeah. Well, let's say how you. What was the quote again? I gotta remember.
How you do anything
is
how you do everything.
Is how you do everything. It makes sense. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, let's say a book gets judged by its cover, right? In the sense, people will look at you how you dress. That means a lot. Like that gives a whole feedback to people.
Yeah.
That's how you do one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So most people that dress well, that they're nice, clean, their clothes is in good condition in the sense they iron it and everything. What do you expect from them? To have a nice
That they got their life together.
Exactly, a nice organized house. That's what you picture, a nice clean car, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense, somebody that is fit. What do you expect? That they're willing to do things that are uneasy and have a tendency to work out. That means you make the time, because we know.
Well, yeah, I think it's taking pride in what you do, because even a simple task, let's say, home houseworks, right? Like if you're washing the dishes, and are you going all the way? Are you making sure you're polishing that pan, or are you making sure that you're getting all the scrubs off? Because that quote speaks very highly to me, because that floods or that encompasses your whole life. Because if you're doing the best job that you can, taking care of this simple task, once something more complex, something that's going to require more time, more effort, you're more likely to take pride in your work and do that well. So for me, how you do anything is how you do everything. I think that is true because that speaks to character.
Yeah, and I believe it because working with different people through years, we have seen how one thing shows who they are.
Hmm.
How they put something away, it shows the movement they have, even how they walk.
Right.
Is one thing you can see how they're gonna work and
Hmm.
everything, how they pick anything up. Honestly,
Yeah.
how they manage the way they talk and everything. It just it's like a shockwave. It just
Right.
starts showing things little by little.
And I think David Goggins also talks about it a little bit. Not this quote in particular. It's his second book. Never. It's not Never Give Up. Or
I forgot.
Can't Hurt Me is the first book, I think. And then the second book, I think, it's Never Give Up. And he talks a little bit about it because when they moved from his father's house, the abuser, to
Hmm.
live with his grandparents. His grandparent was a sergeant in the army, I believe, and so he thought that living leaving his dad's house to go to his grandpa's house was sort of like the same thing because he had all these
Rules.
rules and to dos around the house. And at first, he was just doing it to do them. He was not taking pride. He was just doing it to do it. Then after a certain time, he realized after taking pride in doing it correctly, that started to flood into all areas of his life. Like he started taking pride in his work, like cutting the grass. He would cut the grass in a certain way. So I think it's important. Look at that. I think we just rolled into the topic without even
Even realizing it.
yeah.
That just my mind came with a lot of material though, a lot of information, data from, we're in our 30s, but
Hmm.
what I was raised, well, the mentality I was raised is if you work good, you're gonna have a job anywhere, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And I have seen it through the years because what you do, it echoes to other people. For example, we are in the sell business, right?
Hmm.
We sell, we do different things, we customer service, that whole area. So if you do something good, that customer is gonna tell another customer,
Right.
and if it even gets to the competitor, right? So they'll know who you are
Hmm.
because of what you do. And if you
Right.
take pride in the sense you help people, you go that a little bit extra, people will remember you. And I think it's not just in what we do in our business, is in everything else in life. If you
Yeah.
stop, you help somebody, they will remember. If you're an asshole, they're gonna remember you
Hmm.
too. So
Hmm.
it goes both ways, positive and negative. If we
Yeah.
think it's only for the good, no. People tend to remember the worst you do the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah. Sales is tough because at least the the division or the kind of work that we're doing, which is like I'm doing now. He did it for a while, but it's construction, and construction is everything is an emergency, right? You have your roof open and the delivery is late, and it could be overcast, so there's a lot of things that could go wrong. So everything is like an emergency. But I think memory, not for all customers. There's a few customers that I know that they know what you do for them, right?
They'll remember.
They appreciate
Hmm.
and they remember. But most of the guys, their memory is short lived in construction, where it's like an emergency. So right, you can do 20 things right, and then the one thing you do wrong, that sticks out above all the 20 things you did right.
But I think
So
that's just human tendency. We
it's
tend to see everything that is wrong the most because we're wired
Right.
to nature, let's say, because we
Right. Yeah, we're programmed to
always look at what's the worst because that's what is gonna affect us in the long term. Like,
exactly. Yeah. Fear. We're programmed to have fear because that back then could have saved your life.
and it still does.
Hmm.
I know we're gonna drift a little bit, but I know you say your gut doesn't work, but sometimes, man, it's just you gotta trust your gut. That
Yeah.
fear or something, sometimes it comes to a point that it has a reason. When you
Hmm.
think something is happening, it's because of a reason. If
Yeah.
you have a feeling, like anything, it can be anything.
So
Changes.
yeah, we're gonna drift off a little bit here because okay, so your gut has a feeling, and then you check up on your gut, and it was wrong. Then you have that feeling again, and it's wrong. You have it again, and it's wrong. Then you have it again,
uh,
and it's wrong. So how is it that is it really your gut?
or is it
Because
no?
now you're having this feeling, and you're checking on it, and it's wrong. Checking on it, and it's wrong. So what is the thing that we say? Thoughts become things,
Thoughts
or
become reality.
attention flow.
But
Energy flows where attention goes. So you're focusing all your energy on here, and you're building your future. So is it really your gut, or is it like you're building your future because you're having this paranoid thought?
it can be both ways where a paranoid thought becomes truthful in my opinion
Right.
because you think so much of it that you attract that. i
Right.
i didn't believe the law of attraction was so powerful until now, and it
Yeah.
comes to what we're talking about, that
Mhm.
how you do one thing, it shows everything. Because if you want to be good, you put effort, right? You put
Mhm.
everything you got. And if
Mhm.
in your mind you're like, I'm gonna do the best I can, you always do the best you can. But if you don't care, you're gonna do the it comes from your mind, and that's how you
Yeah.
build yourself.
Yeah.
Every aspect of life, like in my 20s, right? And we always go back to the 20s for me because that's when I can look back and be like, this is where my wasted time is the
Well,
most.
no, I don't think that's what it is because our podcast is
the po-
the podcast
Yours
is
is forged by fire, mine is the
yeah.
art of failure.
Right, yeah, we're still working on Forged by Fire. It's life's been a little bit chaotic, but I don't think it was a waste of time your 20s because you keep going back to your 20s because that's the period you learned the most. That's the period you fucked up the most, and that's the period you grew the most. So it's not a waste of time. You keep going back to your 20s because that's when you learn the most.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good way to see it. I do think like we have a good work ethic. We have a great work ethic because we can get a job whatever we want. People
Yeah,
know us.
yeah.
However, I think in my personal life, I didn't have a good
Mhm.
mindset of believing in everything. I thought I had to work hard
Mhm.
and things were gonna come instead of becoming who I needed to be to get those things into my life. And I think that's what affects me. And now that's what I want to change. And
Mhm.
that's how you do one thing does
Yeah.
everything. And now my goal is change your mind. Because if you change your mind, everything else is gonna change and you're gonna be better.
Mhm.
And bro, from scrolling like you said, plays, you have to do the best you can because people will remember that or they'll destroy you
Well, not.
because
I don't think it's really about people. It's about you, right? If you're scrubbing that plate, you're just like, fuck, man, I did the best I could on this plate. Motherfucker's shiny. Motherfucker's polished. It's something in you. It works in you somehow, some way. That the next task that you take, it makes you want to do that task just as well. It's like sort of like competing with yourself, right? Can I do this task to the best of my abilities that I did this other task?
but
That's what it is for me.
But have you noticed that the more you do, the higher expectations you have? But the problem is, not everybody meets those expectations, and it brings some sort of conflict sometimes.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's especially tough on like corporations because here you are doing the best you can, and the other guy is just sitting there
Chilling.
chilling. So it's like at a certain point you're like, fuck, am I like? Because at a certain point you feel like you're working for the other guy.
You're making
right?
that
Because
other person the check.
exactly, yeah, he's just sitting there collecting his check. I'm here going the extra mile. So that's like cancer, right, in a corporation, because if that goes unchecked, it spreads. It spreads to you. It spreads to other coworkers, and before you know it, it's
You get that. Then the mindset changes because you're like, if he's getting away with that, why should I give more of my time, my hard work, and
right,
everything that is so precious?
right,
And I think that has a very negative effect, or you can have a positive effect that improves you by
yeah,
doing things different and looking for a way out. So
hmm,
it just releases you into better things.
right,
Because it's like a prison when you're in that.
hmm,
It changes your whole mind.
yeah,
You can use it for good or bad. And I believe it can work both ways depending on what you got here.
right, right,
And that's, I think, I never understood how the mind was the most important part until now, really.
yeah,
Until now, this year actually, I have been
yeah.
trying to change it, work it out.
It's very important to keep your mind in check. I mean, forgot what I was gonna say quickly, but it's like you mentioned with the motorcycle, right? It's like where the head goes is where you're turning on your turns. If you're focused on the car that's coming, that's where you're gonna go. So the mind, your head leads you.
I don't know if it is just me, but I see a lot of institutions are not, well, not institutions, I would say schools, or where my kid, I don't know when you're going to have your kid, are raising our kids. They're not giving them the idea that they have to take pride in what they do. Now,
Hmm,
by participating, it's okay. They don't have to win. They don't have to do their best. And I
hmm,
disagree with that because you can't give a trophy to a person that didn't win.
right.
Because if you give a trophy to everybody, what's gonna be the main reason they want to do the best? If
I,
they still win, even
I
if they
think
lose.
that's brainwashing and teaching kids that the system is always going to be there for them. For example, if you just show up, right? If you just show up, they're showing up is like just going to work. If you just work, everything will be okay. Just keep coming to work, collecting your paycheck, paying your bills, making $50 a week, for example, or whatever it is, and take home 25 because the other 75 is going to go to taxes, and then you're gonna pay taxes on the clothes you buy.
The food you buy,
And then when
everything.
you sell those clothes because you grew out of them, you're still gonna pay taxes because
That's the way.
fuck.
Nah, we go down that rabbit hole. That should be for Forged by Fire. But
Yeah.
I think following that topic, yeah, I think now the pride of doing your best is being lost.
Mhm.
It's just is fading away. Not many people have it. Some people are teaching their kids, do your best.
Yeah.
And I feel there's a conflict coming soon
Mhm.
because of that people that they don't believe that you have to do your best, you have to push yourself. And what we're gonna get is two, two extremes, right?
Mhm.
And some people are gonna try to balance it in the middle, but it's gonna bring big conflict and it's gonna make society so useless too. Because if you got somebody that is paying to, for example, clean the streets, but they don't believe they have to do their best, what's gonna happen? They're gonna do the bare minimum. So it's gonna
Mediocrity.
start piling up,
Right.
and
I think
it's
it's already here. It's like mediocrity is okay,
yeah,
which you just do the bare minimum to get by.
yeah,
And I think that's started to being taught when we were kids.
yeah.
So it's already here.
Well, yeah. Look at the school system. I don't know how it's in Brazil. I don't know. I know in Guatemala, if I didn't pass, I lost. That's it. There
Mhm.
was no because your age, you get pushed to the next grade. Here, it's so easy to just move on into the next
Yeah.
one. Oh, this is your age. You can't stay here. But did you deserve to move
Mhm.
into the next?
Mhm.
I don't think so.
Well, in Brazil, when I was growing up, there were schools that, like, there were a tougher school. Like, if you didn't really reach the requirements, you weren't passing. And then there were schools that were more lenient. So It's already started when we're kids.
Yeah. For me, bro, well, where I got sent, it was no leniency.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember some people are gonna disagree and they're gonna say why, what savage world it was, but the teachers used to hit the kids like a parent. They
Mm,
had the what's it, the authority, I would say, that
yeah.
they
Yeah.
could. And I saw one kid, he was gambling. We were 8 years old. They
Uh
were
huh.
gambling. They had like they were playing cards or whatever,
Yeah.
and the principal found him and like he took his belt and hit him, and so when I came here, right, it was a different world. Here, kids will used to curse out their teachers. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah. Yeah. No. So you probably had a better school foundation than I had.
Discipline was better because we used to walk into the classroom, pay attention. I used to study from 8 to 12 and really learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the thing comes, right? That we go back to the topic. That how you do one thing, it shows all over, right?
Right.
Because I learned so much when I came here, bro. The stuff I was learning, I already learned it 2 years previous to that. And I used
Yeah.
to study half the time
Mm-hmm.
from 8 to 12 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Here I was from
Yeah.
8 to
It's
3 p.m.
yeah. School in Brazil wasn't that long, so there was like two periods. Like there was a morning period and an afternoon period in Brazil. And I think you're right. I think it was like from 8 to 12, then from 1 to like 4 or something like that.
And think about it, I learned a lot more in a short period of time, but because the teachers have more power over their own way of doing things. They
Mm-hmm.
used to teach us in a way they loved it. They wanted us to succeed. They teach us things that were useful.
Yeah.
Here I got to, it's not to talk about the school. I love America because it has given me the best chances and opportunities. But come on, man, the
Mm-hmm.
school system is garbage.
Yeah. No, it really is.
Like in life, where we are, what I learned in school doesn't mean anything, man. I know people that went to college that
Mm-hmm.
they're dumb. I'm sorry to some of you, but you guys are retarded. You don't even know how to change a fucking tire.
Yeah.
So books doesn't make you smart, doesn't make you anybody. But
Yeah. No, I think school is very important to a certain
I think
aspect. I think reading is very important. Reading comprehension. So when you read something, you actually know what that is. Writing, grammar is important because in business you have to be able to write and you understand what I'm saying. Math is important. History I think is very important. But after a certain level of math, like, am I really gonna use that in life?
what they didn't explain to us how taxes work, how credit work,
Mm-hmm.
why you shouldn't get a credit card if you can't handle it. Learn how to spend your money,
Mm-hmm.
budgeting. Why they
Mm-hmm.
didn't teach us that, bro? That's the most important thing. After I got out of high school, I went into the real world. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm learning budgeting now in my 30s, and
Mm-hmm.
it's freaking hard. It's difficult,
Yeah.
right? And I'm learning how to do things that I should have learned when I was going into the actual world, into the
Mm-hmm.
actual life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they didn't get us ready for anything. They
Yeah.
just threw us out there.
Yeah, I know. I think school should be structured differently. Kids, for example, ages 6 to 10, 6 to 11. I mean, I think it should be probably more based in social dynamics, how to interact with each other. You're still learning, you're still having fun. I think 6 and 7 years are very important. They should learn discipline, learn respect, but still learn how to interact with each other. And at 10, like so 10 to 15, not even like maybe 8 to 15, that's when you're learning reading, writing, grammar, a little bit of math, a little bit of history. Once you get to like 15 to 20, you learn history more in depth. Um, and then like your high school years, that's when you start breaking in economics, learning about taxes, or learning how to make an income, business. College years, then you go more in depth in that, like depending what you like. It's fuck. Let's just make our own country, bro.
Shit. But have you noticed that I don't know how to really put it out there. I didn't go to college. You went. But the people I know,
I did like a semester.
well, still you went. The people that I know that went to college, I see a lot of them just by having a degree, they they expect a life to just hand them money and stuff, and I see it's not that easy for them. For them, they're suffering more because they went to college, they got a degree, they're in debt, they don't know what they're doing with their life. Some of them change careers midway, and they're having a really hard time dealing with a lot of stuff because it was a brainwash of, I don't know who,
Oh
the
yeah,
institution to, you gotta go to college so you can be successful.
yeah, no, it's a little bit of brainwashing because they did what the system wanted them to do. But like very early on, I always thought that fuck, everybody's doing this. If everybody's doing this, it's probably gonna be harder to get work, right? To find a job. This is me when I was probably like maybe 15, just sitting down, just thinking a little bit. If everybody's doing this, it's gonna be harder to do work. So if everybody's going to school for doctors, engineering, teachers, and there's going to be very few options in the marketplace out there for those areas because everybody's doing it. Everybody wants to do it. So what's going to be open? Your plumbing trades, your plumbing, your electricians, your mechanics, your carpenter, your roofers. There's very good money to be made in those areas. So I went to school and I wanted to be like a mechanical engineer.
Hmm.
I did one semester and was like, you know what? And it was like at community college, so I was paying it for myself, but it was still expensive for
Like
somebody
four
that's
thousand
19 years old.
for a semester, bro. Because I tried to go, but at that time I didn't have a car. I didn't have the income. Well, I did move by myself
Yeah,
in a certain aspect. I'm not gonna touch today. That's gonna be a whole episode with.
which I mean that helped you learn what you know so far. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, for a little bit, but I think I'm gonna let you finish because I have to say something with that whole area about everybody following the path of other people.
hmm and then that I don't got much more to say, but that's what I mean. I forgot where I was going with this. So go ahead.
So my thing is, right, a lot of people look at college as they're gonna become millionaires, right, or whatever. Most of the people that are millionaires and billionaires, they quit college because they saw it as a useless thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't go, so I cannot agree or disagree. I'm just gonna go by what I see. Most of the people that I have conversations and I know and I have spent some time making, building a relationship. They didn't go to college. They're
hmm
very successful in my eyes.
hmm
They have businesses. They have a good life. They enjoy their life. They travel a lot, and they put their family first.
hmm
Most of the people that go into college, they're fucking miserable.
Yeah.
They have a job they hate.
hmm
They half-ass their job, and
hmm
that's where the whole topic. How would you do one thing? It's how everything is gonna
Right.
be around your life,
hmm
because they half-ass one thing. They're miserable. Negative thoughts come into their mind.
hmm
They hate their job.
hmm
That whole negativity just spills out of them. It goes into their personal life,
hmm
into their work life. So everything they do comes out as crap because
hmm
that's what they have,
hmm
because they don't like their job. And that's where you just focus on supposedly getting the money. The money is just a mirage.
hmm
Instead of focusing on what you can do, that you can do for a long time, that you can actually deal with people, you
hmm
know? That's where I think we have the skill set for sales because we care.
Right.
Customer service is something we are good at. I'm sorry. We're good at it because we care. We
hmm
do our best.
hmm
But we have encountered certain salesmen that they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't use their brain. And what
hmm
happens? You know? They want to change
It
salesmen.
it spills in their life.
Yeah.
And I think you touched on something. So there's another quote that we can go into, but not very in depth. But you touched them not loving what they do. So there's a quote that says, "Love what you do, not do what you love," because you can start to take pride in what you do, and you start doing that job well. You actually start loving what you do because you do it so efficiently, so effectively, that you start loving what you do. It might not be what you love to do, but you love what you do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Because for me, I'm gonna be honest, guys, and I'm gonna put it here. I don't really care who listens to this. But I don't really like working. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I
Mm-hmm.
don't fucking enjoy working for somebody else. If it was
Yeah.
for myself, I'm still gonna have issues because it's work. Well, it's just your mental connection to something you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Did I mind working? When I used to work with you guys, I didn't mind it, but things happen. I wasn't in
Yeah.
the best position that I could have been, and not
Mm-hmm.
because of well, it was because of the people I had around me. It
Mm-hmm.
was like a handicap match, so I had
Yeah.
to let go. But
Yeah.
I didn't mind helping the people.
Mm-hmm.
I was learning a lot. I was making connections in the sense I was getting to know, networking. I met
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, and that's what I like. I fucking love meeting people. I love talking. You know
Mm-hmm.
that more than
Yeah.
anybody else. But the problem is, like you said, I don't enjoy working, but I started liking that, dealing with
Mm-hmm.
people, learning,
Mm-hmm.
being able to learn more about how things work. So I was really enjoying that aspect. And I think it makes sense, bro. Like for mechanics, let's say, because I like working on my car. Do I love it? No, because it's fucking hard shit.
Yeah.
You do something wrong, your car is not going to drive.
Right.
Did I enjoy it? Yeah, because it's fun. You learn
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes so much sense in that.
Yeah.
And putting a little bit out there, everything you do in life, you have to do it like it's for you, even if you do it for others, because they'll remember you by that.
Mm-hmm.
When you help somebody, bro, like this is the thing. It's like once, and this one just comes out of nowhere. There was this old lady that lived by where I used to live, like years ago in Portchester, right?
Yeah.
She was cleaning the sidewalk by herself. She was like 70, bro. I was like, I felt bad. I was cleaning my car, whatever. Uh, so I went. I didn't even ask nothing. I just started helping her.
Mm-hmm.
I think my uncle saw her years later. She still remember who I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that means a lot to me
Mm-hmm.
because if you do something, it's going to spill, you know?
Right.
If a person like that sees you having issues, they'll
Mm-hmm.
go help you because
Mm-hmm.
they'll remember you.
Yeah.
And it's the life, bro. It's karma. What you do in
Yeah.
life comes back. It's the
Absolutely.
whole circle.
Absolutely. And I think everybody's become so individual because everybody's in their own cubicle, and they forget that humanity got here by helping each other out. Because like you go to work in your cubicle, right? You get to work, you're in your cubicle because for office workers example, you have your cubicle. You come home, you're in a cubicle.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a cubicle with your partner, but so I think every society or the system or whatever you're going to call it is teaching everybody to be so individual, because when you're separate, it's so easy to control, right? Divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now, man, we society and humanity, we got here by helping each other, and we have to remember that.
Yeah. And I think, but there's a balance, right? I don't know if it is just me or how you see it, but for having a really well function relationship, friendship, whatever, you can't really have more than certain amount of people around you.
Hmm.
Because I see it, you can function around with. I have my
Well, no,
amount.
I think you can have. I think the more connections you have, the better off you are in life. Yeah, you need a closer, tight group of people,
Circle. Hmm.
but the more connections you have, the better.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's just connection is everything, man.
Yeah.
Because you go anywhere, you get to know that person, whatever they teach you. That's the way I
Hmm.
see it. I go to a place. My girlfriend hates this, or I don't know if she hates it or doesn't like it. But I go to any place, I
Yeah.
can meet people. I have no issue, bro.
Yeah.
Like from saying good morning to in a place,
Uh-huh.
a coffee place. I don't know, man. It's just I
Yeah.
love fucking talking.
Yeah, Laura, like I don't like talking as much as you do, but Laura always jokes around that like when we're in Portchester or somewhere far away from Port Chester. She's like, "You always know somebody, huh?" It's like, "Yeah, yeah." Especially like when we're in white planes, like I'm always saying hello to somebody. She's like, "You should be in Port Chester Mayor." And it's funny because like I know a lot of people. Like I talk with a lot of people, and I used to be better like at talking to people, meeting people, and like it's just probably work and life, and you're just like, God damn it. It's like you start shutting down a little bit.
It drains you.
Right. Yeah.
The energy goes towards there, and that's one thing I do want to challenge myself. I want to go back to outside sales because I'm doing sales, but it's inside right now
Hmm.
because I want
The
that.
interaction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interaction with people. I don't know people. It's a challenge, man, to create a whole friendship or a whole connection with somebody that they
Right.
don't know you. They have to trust you to buy material from you.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. It's a whole. People don't understand it because just because somebody asks you about a material, that's the closest thing I can relate to you,
Hmm.
or a product. They are trusting you that you're gonna deliver.
Yeah.
And to be honest with
That
you,
is very powerful.
because, bro, like, think about it, right? They ask us. That's the way I used to see it. I'm not gonna half-ass my knowledge. What I used
Hmm.
to say, I'll get back to you. I don't know this, so
Hmm.
I didn't want people to, get the wrong
Oh,
information.
as long as you get back to them, that's not a bad thing,
No.
right? It's like I'll get back to you, and then you take a couple of hours, 3 hours, a week, whatever it is. You learn it to the best ability that you
Yeah.
can, and then you get back to them.
Bro, doing that, I learned so much because I was able to interact with the customer and
Hmm.
the manufacturer, and I
Hmm.
learned so much how to do things, how to purchase material. But in life, it works the same way.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
for sure.
have to work certain areas of your life in one way and other ways.
Hmm.
Like how? Let me put this in a better way. So personal life is one way, work life is a whole different way.
Hmm.
That's how I see things now. That you can't really go by just doing life one way. You have to adapt certain
Yeah.
aspects
Yeah, for sure.
and the best you can, and not because it's personal life you're gonna live it halfway either, or because it's work life you're gonna live it halfway. You have to do the best you can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's no such thing as balance in life. I used to believe it, but now it just
Hmm.
don't. It's just either you do good or you don't do good. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, do the best you can. Do the best you can. But I still think it's important to have balance in life.
Uh, I wish there was balance, but at the same time, I stopped believing on that. There's no such thing as balance, bro.
Hmm.
Maybe if you enjoy it, you won't see it as a negative aspect, but there's no such thing. It's either you give everything or more in work, or you give the less and the less.
Hmm.
And
Well,
it's
yes, I guess in that aspect, yes. You know, you're either doing your best or you're not. I can't think of anything right
I
now,
think we're
but
thinking about balance very different than
yeah,
what I'm trying to
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, you taking in the time frame, how managing life. I'm just trying to
Right,
say that you either do the best you can or you don't do
right. Yeah,
any
yeah. No,
any.
I agree with that.
It's, I have met people there that don't care about work. I don't know how they do it, but they don't care.
Hmm.
And I guess to each their own.
Yeah,
They're happy. That's all that matters.
yeah,
Oh, sometimes I wish I could do that, but I can't. I
yeah,
care. I care too much.
yeah. It's when you like when you have that kind of work ethic, and like for example the cancer that we mentioned earlier in the episode, that that person that's just there for the paycheck and is just there to do the bare minimum and get by. When that starts infecting you,
It's a poison.
it's a poison, man, because you're like, fuck it,
I'm gonna go halfway.
half, and that like it starts affecting you in every area of your life, and then you start seeing it because you get like I don't know, but you get depressed, you get like
Maybe
because you're
it's
not
not.
doing the best that you can.
Maybe it's like we talk about depression. I think it's sometimes it's misused. I think we lose sight of our goal, and
Yeah,
then they just give us a sense of
because you know you
uncertainty.
could do better
Yeah,
and you're not.
because depression, I think it's misused like the word love, because I feel once you get lost in life and you don't know what you want or what you can do,
Mhm.
you have an empty feeling that you need to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I feel that's the problem,
Yeah.
because depression, I used to think I had it until I started listening to a lot of podcasters, and I just came to the sense that it's just, you are just walking with no goals, no purpose, and you
Mhm.
just empty vessel. So
Mhm.
that doesn't give you any motivation, any discipline to try to do things.
Right.
That's why now I have things I gotta do. Even if I
Yeah.
don't feel like doing them or I'm doing them slow, I still gotta do them, because without that, I'm just gonna start sinking.
Right.
And like there was a quote I heard that a ship doesn't sink because of the water around it, because the water that gets in.
Right. Yep.
And it's very powerful if you pay attention. So the point is, have to be careful what goes into us,
Mhm.
because if not, that's gonna like destroy us.
Right.
In the same sense, you gotta be careful who you have around you.
Yeah,
So
and if you're an empty vessel, the universe is always trying to fill it. So if you're an empty vessel, you're like a sponge. Anything that goes by, you soak in. Right? It could be bad habits. It could be bad friends. It could be a bad diet. But if that vessel is full and you have a good foundation, it's a lot harder to get sucked into bad habits or bad friendship, bad diet.
and that bad habit is taking priority what you do too, because bad habits come from not really having the best mindset to do the best you can, having pride. For
Right.
example, if I drive my car, I like it a certain way.
Mhm.
You know, do those sometimes it starts just going down, like
Mhm.
the expectations. Yeah, because everything else is falling apart.
Mhm.
So it's kind of hard to try to explain it, but you always gotta look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm the best at what I do. I gotta keep doing it. Even if you're
Right.
not, you gotta
Right.
believe it. You
Mhm.
gotta tell yourself.
Mhm.
People are gonna see it, and who they gonna expect I am. Because
Yeah.
I know you said don't do it for people, but sometimes that's the way I get motivated or I get my discipline going.
Mhm.
Like I have to do it because I have a lot of shit to prove to people that I
Yeah.
can do.
Mhm.
You know, maybe it's just being selfish, narcissistic, but that's the way I
Well,
have it
I
implanted
don't
in
think
me.
you're really being selfish if you're doing it for other people.
Because like people doubted me, and people, I mean my family,
Mhm.
they're like, sometimes they think I couldn't do it. I am gonna prove them I can do whatever fuck I want
Mhm.
whenever I want it,
Yeah.
if I believe it.
Yeah.
And so far it has come.
Yeah.
And I like people talking shit. That means I'm doing something good.
There you go. There you go.
We have a lot of
Yeah,
friends
if
that
you
talk
don't if
shit.
you don't have any haters, you're doing something wrong.
Exactly. If they don't talk, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Mostly when it's your own friends talking shit about you, it makes me feel some sort of positive way.
Uh-huh.
Cause it's like fuck, they are not really friends. That's how you find out who your
Yeah.
friends are.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the best way, and now that's how I see it. I laugh. I'm like, I used to think this person was my friend. They're
Uh-huh.
not. I still like. I feel like with that you gotta be careful too,
Mhm.
cause they are poison, cancer.
Yeah.
They like to know what you're doing so they can talk shit. So don't ever reveal everything you're doing.
That is very true. That is very true. Be careful who you have around you.
It'll bring you down. It'll
Yeah.
destroy you. And those people too, it can destroy the way you do things. You don't tell. They'll talk in your ear like that little voice. Why
Mhm.
do you have to do it? Why do you have to do the best? Just do this. It'll still work. Nah. You gotta
Mhm.
listen
Mhm.
to your.
Yeah, that spills and everything, man. You use the house for example again because it's the only thing that's popping to mind today. Housework, because we cleaned the house for like 5 hours yesterday. But it's so easy. Like if you have dishes in the sink, right? You have three dishes. It's like it's only three dishes. I'll take care of that later. Then from those dishes, it turns into you putting dirty cups, and then later comes and you have to cook, and then you cooking, but then it turns into the 7 or 8 p.m. You're just like, God damn it, I don't want to clean this now. I still have to take a shower. You take a shower, it's like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow you get busy at work and you have to cut the grass. Then tomorrow it turns into the other day. So I think it's very important for me. It's like it's how I function to take accountability and like to stay on schedule, because if I'm not on schedule, I'm not taking care of what needs to be taken care of, it just multiplies, and it gets worse. So for me, it's very important for me to try to do the best I can when I can.
You know, one thing I was thinking about it, and it happened to me yesterday. So I went out, came back home, and I needed to get shit done, right? I needed to get shit done. And this one is bothering me, myself. I bother because I was supposed to do shit. I said I was gonna do it. I did half of some stuff. I did laundry, fold
Mm-hmm.
my clothes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to do work in the computer. Bro, this one bothers me right now because I went on Instagram because I didn't feel like fucking doing it. And when I started doing it, it was fucking late. So I went to sleep late and I'm gonna suffer for it.
Yeah.
But my problem is I need to,
Structure.
yeah, I
Yeah.
need to. Why I'm doing it? Am I lazy? To a certain point, I am because I don't want to deal with the fact I need to do these things. And
Right.
that comes in life and everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, you have to take accountability.
Accountability.
And the problem is, like, now I go on Instagram, sometimes it gives me, oh, you work hard, you deserve a rest. I'm like, fuck it. I gotta stop thinking like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't deserve shit because I haven't earned anything.
Right.
So why should I take time to do things that are meaningless,
Yeah.
like scrolling through Instagram,
Right.
if I haven't earned it? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And that comes with how you do one thing, you're gonna do everything. Because if I go on Instagram and I stop doing shit, I'm gonna stop doing everything I'm supposed to do to have a better day, a better life, and that's gonna start piling up, and you're just gonna get a whole mess in your life. You stop cleaning the house. If you go on Instagram, you stop washing the dishes.
Right.
You get distraction.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing to deal with sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Yeah.
Social media is a fucking it's like cocaine, my man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I never done that kind of drug, but I'm just saying it's addictive.
Yeah.
It's like sugars. That's
Yeah.
the closest thing.
I think that's all I got for this one, man. I think we keep beating, well, at least me, I think keep beating around the bush.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of late. We all got things to do, so I feel we picked a quote. We gotta for next one. Let's see what we come up. If not, I wanna pick that book from Marcus Aurelius.
Mm-hmm.
That's a strong book, and
Yeah.
we just pick quotes from it
And talk about it.
Yeah,
okay.
'cause
We'll
we don't-
dissect it and
Yeah, because
try to go in depth.
today we picked one thing and we went around it and a little bit of everything, and I feel that's how it works. That's how life is. You
Well,
aim
that's
to
how-
go straight, and it takes you all over.
That's how conversations work, man. It's never straight.
No,
Those are boring.
I really appreciate everybody that tuned in.
Thanks for stopping by again.
Soon we're gonna be working with Forged by Fire. We're gonna have some products, shirts, and hats we're gonna make, and we're gonna give them away to the people watching and listening.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys like it, but it's gonna take a while because we want the best. We're not gonna half-ass this thing.
Yeah, we're researching textiles and what's more comfortable, and well, we tend to have like more of an athletic life.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of people we're
aiming for. Honestly, from that quote from today, we're that how you do one thing shows everything. We're not gonna give you some shitty ass products.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't want to give some bullshit stuff because then it's gonna show that we don't care.
Yep.
We just want profit, and really we want to help people change their lives. How people help us. That's the main thing.
Yep.
People have changed my life, his life, and why not give something back?
Exactly.
So thank you for watching, guys, and listening. We'll get you into the next one, and we're gonna have new stuff coming up and a lot more surprises.
See you guys in a week.
See you. Take care, guys.